Walking every morning can make you feel like your legs are protected. And to be clear, walking is still one of the best habits you can keep. It helps your heart, your lungs, your mood, your blood sugar, and your stamina. But if you are over 60 and your legs still feel weak, shaky, or slow when you stand up, walking may not be reaching the muscles that need help the most. You can walk every day and still struggle to rise from a chair without pushing with both hands. You can walk around the block and still feel nervous on stairs. You can take thousands of steps and still feel unsteady when you turn, step sideways, or catch yourself after a small trip. That is because walking mostly moves you forward. Falling usually happens when your body has to react in a different direction. A stumble, a sideways wobble, a weak knee, a stiff ankle, or a chair that suddenly feels harder to get out of. That is the part many people find out too late. They were walking, so they thought they were doing everything right. Then one day, the stairs feel different, the chair feels lower. The bathroom floor feels slippery, or the curb feels higher than it used to. The problem was not laziness. The problem was that walking was helping one part of the body while other important muscles were quietly falling behind. That is why the better move is training the right places instead of simply adding more steps. Today, we are going through 5 simple bed exercises that help strengthen the muscles walking often misses. You do not need a gym. You do not need equipment. You do not even need to stand up. And stay with number 1, because it is one of the easiest exercises on this list, but it targets the muscle that many seniors need most for standing, stairs, and knee support. Number 5. Ankle pumps. You usually notice this problem during the first few steps of the morning. Your feet hit the floor, but they do not feel ready yet. Your ankles feel stiff, your toes feel slow, and you may need a few careful steps before your legs start trusting the ground. That first moment matters more than people think. A weak or stiff ankle can change the way your whole body moves. Your foot may not clear the floor as well, your stride may get shorter, you may start shuffling without realizing it. And when the foot does not lift cleanly, even a small rug, cord, doorway edge, or uneven floor can become a problem. Walking helps you move forward, but it does not always train the front of your lower legs enough. These are the muscles that help pull your toes upward toward your shin. They help your foot clear the floor when you step. They also help your ankle feel more awake before you stand. That is why ankle pumps belong first. They look almost too easy, but they are a simple way to wake up your feet, ankles, calves, and shins before your full body weight is on them. It is also a good first exercise because it lets you check in with your legs before you rush into the day. To do them, lie on your back in bed with both legs straight. Let your heels rest on the mattress. Now pull your toes up toward your face as far as you comfortably can. You should feel the front of your lower legs tighten. Hold for 2 seconds. Then point your toes away from you like you are pressing a gas pedal. Hold for 2 seconds again, that is 1 slow rep. Do 3 sets of 20 reps. If that feels like too much at first, start with 1 set of 20 and build from there. The best time is before you get out of bed in the morning, because that is when your ankles are often stiffest and your first steps matter most. The mistake is rushing. Do not flap your feet quickly like you are tapping along to music. That turns the exercise into a habit, not a strengthening signal. Move slowly enough that you can feel the muscles on the front of your shins working when your toes come up and the calves working when your toes point away. Another mistake is only moving the toes. The movement should come from the ankle. Think of the whole foot moving up and down, not just the tips of your toes. Over time, this can help your feet feel more awake before you stand. Your first steps may feel less stiff, your ankles may feel a little more stable. And because this exercise is done lying down, it gives you a safe place to start before your legs have to carry you. If your ankle is swollen, painful, or recently injured, keep the range small and gentle. If the movement causes sharp pain, stop and ask a professional before continuing. Ankle pumps wake up the lower legs, but weak legs are rarely only an ankle problem. The next exercise moves up to the knees, where stiffness can make getting out of bed, standing from a chair, and walking downstairs feel harder than it should. Number 4. Heel slides. Knee stiffness has a way of sneaking into your whole day. You notice it when you first bend your knees in the morning. You notice it when you sit too long and then try to stand. You notice it when stairs feel slower or when you need to hold a railing because your knee does not feel ready to bend and straighten smoothly. A lot of seniors try to fix this by walking more. Walking can help loosen the body, but walking does not always move the knee through a full, comfortable range. When you walk, your knee bends and straightens only so much. If the joint is stiff, your body may quietly shorten the step to avoid that uncomfortable bend. That is how weakness and stiffness feed each other. The less the knee moves, the more guarded it becomes. The more guarded it becomes, the harder it feels to move. After a while, you may stop noticing the smaller steps and slower turns because they become your new normal. Heel slides are useful because they let your knee bend and straighten while your body is fully supported. You are not squatting, you are not stepping down from a curb. You are not loading the knee with your full weight. You are simply teaching the knee to move again, slowly and safely. To do a heel slide, lie on your back with both legs straight. Pick one leg to start. Keep your heel on the mattress and slowly slide that heel toward your body, bending your knee as you go. Only slide as far as feels comfortable. You should feel movement, maybe a gentle stretch but not sharp pain. Pause for 2 seconds when the knee is bent, then slowly slide the heel back out until the leg is straight again. Do 3 sets of 12 reps on each leg. If your knees are very stiff, start with 8 reps per side and make the movement smaller. You can also place a towel or smooth cloth under your heel so it slides more easily across the sheet. The common mistake is pulling the knee with your hands. Let the leg do the work. If you grab behind your thigh and drag the leg toward you, you may get movement, but you are not asking the muscles around the knee to help. The point is to slide with control. Another mistake is forcing the knee too far. More range is not better if your body starts guarding. A smooth, pain-free bend is better than a big bend that makes your knee angry for the rest of the day. This exercise helps the front and back of the thigh work together. The front of the thigh helps support the knee. The back of the thigh helps control the bend. When those muscles get used to moving again, standing up can start to feel less stiff. Many seniors may notice the biggest difference in the morning. Before you even sit up, you have already reminded your knees how to bend and straighten. That can make the first trip to the bathroom or kitchen feel less awkward. Heel slides help with knee motion, but the next problem is different. It shows up when you lose balance sideways, when you turn too quickly, or when one foot lands a little off. Walking forward does not always prepare you for that. Number 3. Side leg raises. One of the most dangerous moments for weak legs is not always walking straight ahead. It is turning around in the kitchen. It is stepping sideways around a chair. It is reaching for something and feeling your body drift. It is catching yourself when one foot lands slightly wrong. That kind of balance comes from the side of your hips. These muscles are easy to ignore because you do not see them working, but they help keep your pelvis steady when one foot is on the ground. They help stop your body from tipping side to side. They help you stay upright when a step is not perfect. Walking mostly takes you forward. It uses the side hips, but often not enough to make them stronger, especially if your steps have become shorter or slower. If the side hips are weak, your body may sway more when you walk. You may feel less confident on uneven ground. You may grab walls or furniture without thinking. This is why some people feel fine walking in a straight hallway, then suddenly feel unsure in a crowded room, a grocery aisle, or a bathroom. The body is no longer moving in one simple line. It has to adjust, turn, and catch itself. Side leg raises target those muscles directly, and doing them in bed makes them much safer than standing balance exercises. To do this exercise, lie on your side with your legs straight and stacked on top of each other. Rest your head on a pillow or your lower arm. Keep your body in a straight line from shoulders to hips to heels. Now lift your top leg upward about 12 inches. You do not need to lift it high. Hold for 2 seconds, then slowly lower it back down. You should feel the work on the outside of your hip, not in your lower back. Do 2 to 3 sets of 12 reps on each side. If that is too hard, bend the bottom knee slightly for support and do fewer reps. If it feels easy, slow the lowering part down. The slower you lower, the more control the hip has to build. The biggest mistake is rolling backward. When your top hip rolls open toward the ceiling, the leg may still lift, but the wrong muscles take over. Keep your hips stacked. Imagine your top hip is pointing straight forward, not leaning back. Another mistake is pointing the toes toward the ceiling. Try keeping the toes facing forward or slightly downward. That helps the outside hip do more of the work. This exercise may feel small at first, but it trains a muscle group that matters every time you take a step. If you have ever felt wobbly when turning, moving around furniture, or standing on one leg to put on pants, this is the kind of strength your body is asking for. Side leg raises help with side-to-side stability, but there is another muscle group that often goes quiet after years of sitting. And when it weakens, standing from a chair can become a fight. That brings us to the glutes. Number 2, glute bridges. You can tell a lot about leg strength by watching how someone stands up from a chair. If they have to rock back and forth first, push hard with both hands, or pause halfway up, the problem is often not only the knees. The glutes may not be doing their job. Your glutes are the large muscles in the back of your hips. They help you stand tall, climb stairs, rise from a chair, and keep your body steady when you walk. When they are strong, your legs feel more powerful. When they are weak, other areas have to work overtime. The knees complain, the lower back tightens, stairs feel heavier than they should. Walking uses the glutes some, but many people do not use them strongly when they walk. If your stride is short, if you sit many hours a day, or if you avoid hills and stairs, the glutes can become quiet. You may still be walking, but the muscle that helps drive you upward and forward is not being challenged enough. This matters because standing up is not just a knee movement. It is a hip movement too. If the hips are weak, the body starts borrowing strength from the hands, the back, and the front of the knees. Glute bridges are one of the best bed exercises for this because they ask the glutes to work without forcing you to stand, squat, or balance. Lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the mattress. Keep your feet about hip width apart. Let your arms rest at your sides. Now press through your heels and gently squeeze your glutes to lift your hips off the bed. Raise until your body forms a straight line from shoulders to knees. You do not need to go higher than that. Hold the top for 3 seconds. Then lower slowly back to the mattress. Do 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. If you are new to this, start with 1 set of 8 and see how your body feels the next day. The mistake is arching the lower back. If you lift too high or push your ribs upward, your lower back may take over. The movement should feel like your hips are lifting because your glutes are working, not because your back is bending. Another mistake is pushing through the toes. When you push through the toes, the front of the thighs may take over. Try pressing through the heels. You should feel the back of the hips tighten at the top. If a full bridge feels too hard, start smaller. Lift your hips only a few inches. Hold for 1 second. Lower with control. That still teaches the glutes to wake up. Over time, stronger glutes may help daily movements feel less demanding. Standing from a chair can feel smoother. Climbing stairs can feel less like your knees are doing all the work. Walking may even feel more stable because your hips are supporting each step better. If this causes back pain, make the lift smaller or skip it until you can ask a physical therapist or health professional. A glute bridge should feel like work in the hips and thighs, not strain in the lower back. Now we have reached number 1. This final exercise looks almost too simple because your leg barely moves. But for weak legs after 60, especially if standing from a chair or climbing stairs has become harder, this one matters. Number 1, quad tighteners. The front of your thigh is one of the most important areas for staying independent. These muscles help straighten the knee. They help you stand from a chair. They help you step up onto a curb. They help you control your body when you go downstairs. When the quads get weak, daily life starts changing in small ways. You push off the armrests every time you stand. You avoid low chairs. You use the railing more than you used to. You feel unsure when stepping down. Your knees may feel like they cannot fully trust themselves. Walking does use the quads, but it may not challenge them enough if they are already weak. When the body feels unsure, it often finds easier ways to move. You shorten your stride. You avoid bending the knee too much. You lean on furniture. You let your arms do work your legs used to do. Quad tighteners are powerful because they train the front of the thigh without making the knee bend under your body weight. There is no stepping, no squatting, no standing, and no impact. For someone who wants stronger legs but feels nervous about knee pain, that is what makes this exercise so useful. To do them, lie on your back with one leg straight. Place a small rolled towel under that knee. The towel gives you something to press into. Now tighten the muscle on the top of your thigh and press the back of your knee down into the towel. You should see your kneecap pull upwards slightly. Hold that squeeze for 5 seconds. Then relax for 5 seconds. That is 1 rep. Do 3 sets of 10 reps on each leg. If 5 seconds feels too hard, start with 3 seconds. If it feels easy, slowly work toward 8 to 10 seconds. The key is a strong squeeze without holding your breath. Breathe normally while the thigh tightens. Many people tense their face, grip the sheets, or hold their breath when they try to contract the muscle. Keep the rest of your body relaxed and put the effort into the thigh. The common mistake is pressing from the foot instead of the thigh. Your heel may move a little, but the main action should come from tightening the top of the leg. If you are doing it correctly, the thigh should feel firm under your hand. Another mistake is doing quick squeezes. Fast pulses do not give the muscle enough time to wake up. Hold the contraction long enough that the quad has to work. This exercise is especially useful before getting out of bed. After a night of lying still, the knees and thighs can feel slow. A few rounds of quad tighteners can remind your legs to support you before you ask them to stand. Over time, you may notice that standing feels more controlled. Stairs may feel a little less intimidating. You may feel more confidence in your knees because the muscles around them are doing more of the support. If you have had recent knee surgery, a new injury, severe swelling, or sharp pain, do not force this movement. Get guidance first. The goal is to build strength, not to push through warning signs. Walking is still worth doing. Keep walking if you can. But walking alone may not be enough if the muscles that help you stand, turn, balance, and catch yourself are getting weaker. Start small. Tomorrow morning, before your feet touch the floor, try ankle pumps and quad tighteners. The next day, add heel slides. When that feels comfortable, add side leg raises and glute bridges. You do not have to do everything perfectly on day one. You just need to remind your legs that they are still needed. Weak legs do not usually change from one giant workout. They change from small signals repeated often. A few minutes in bed can become the difference between starting the day stiff and starting the day with your legs already awake. And if you have noticed weak legs, shaky balance, or trouble standing from a chair, tell us in the comments which one bothers you the most. Your answer may help someone else feel less alone. If this video helped you, give it a like and subscribe so you do not miss the next one. Thanks for watching.